Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us on our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 315 of our trek. Yesterday, and for the next few days, we are going to remain in camp around the campfire as we continue to dig for those nuggets of wisdom that are found in the book of Proverbs. Yesterday, we covered the first 3 verses of chapter 10, and we will continue to cover a few verses each day. This section of Proverbs compares and contrasts bite-sized nuggets of wisdom that apply to our everyday life. I know that you'll enjoy it, so stick with us. And I do thank you so much for coming along with me each day as we explore and consume these nuggets of wisdom. These bits of wisdom will help us to live the rich and satisfying life while we are creating our living legacy. While some of our daily treks are a multi-part series, you can join us at any time and start along with us from that point on. If you would like to listen to any of the past episodes, please go to wisdom-trek.com to listen to them and to read the daily journal, which also includes pictures. You can also subscribe to Wisdom Trek at iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play, so each day's trek is downloaded to you automatically. We are broadcasting our podcast from our studios at Home 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am making progress on a couple of the delayed projects and should be able to make an announcement about their release soon. As I work on some of these newer projects, there is so much I'd like to learn about some of the newer technology, so I have to balance that with being able to focus on my time properly. It is good for you to take time each day to reflect on what you have learned and what you would like to learn. This will allow you to grow, to improve, and to make an impact on your world as you are creating and living your legacy each day. As we remain in camp today, it is a good time to consume and reflect on these short and concise nuggets of wisdom. As mentioned before, regardless of whether you consider yourself a person of faith, these common sense tidbits of wisdom found in the book of Proverbs will apply to everyone. So let's continue as we gain wisdom, insight, and understanding with each new bite. Today, our title is The Hard Worker Gets Rich, and is taken from Proverbs chapter 10 and will cover verses 4 through 8. Yesterday, I introduced a section of Proverbs which contains 375 short compare and contrast statements that are actually poems in the original Hebrew language. If you missed yesterday's trek, it would be helpful to listen to it to get a little background on Proverbs chapter 10 through 26. As we sit around the campfire today, watching the fire flicker in the breeze and soaking into our senses the wonder of nature, it is now time to share these nuggets of wisdom and consume and reflect on Solomon's wisdom. Verse number 4. Lazy people are soon poor, hard workers get rich. While this poem contrasts a lazy person to someone who works hard, it also tells us about the consequences of both. The verse may seem somewhat obvious, but you need to personally ask yourself, which category do I fall into? As I said yesterday, the Proverbs are general principles for life, and there could be situations where this does not apply 100%. Generally, though, if you are lazy, then don't be surprised if you're not wealthy. If you work hard consistently with persistence and are wise with your money, then you will become financially secure. There is a balance to everything in life. If you work hard and then are foolish with your spending, then you'll reap those consequences also. Strive to follow all the principles found in Proverbs. Verse number 5. A wise youth harvests in the summer, but one who sleeps during the harvest is a disgrace. This contrasting scenario is similar to the previous verse. If you expect to have a harvest from your work, you must prepare ahead of time, but also be ready and willing to reap the harvest when it is time. You can't expect to have a result from your work if you work hard and then you sleep during the time to produce the results. If you are not ready to work when it is needed, Solomon says it's a disgrace. Verse number 6. The godly are showered with blessings. The words of the wicked conceal their violent intentions. In this verse, we can equate a godly person with a good person. A person who makes a practice of being good to others and themselves will receive the blessings of living a good life. Keep in mind, though, that the blessings are many things in our lives, and what a blessing is to one person may be different to another. In contrast to this, a person who makes it a habit of doing bad things, which can be immoral and unethical in nature, will usually make an attempt to cover up their true intentions. We need to have discernment when dealing with others, especially if we are already aware of some of their unsavory habits that they are involved in. While we should be compassionate, we also need to be wise. A person may say one thing, but their actions will reflect their true intentions. Verse number 7. We have happy memories of the godly, but the name of the wicked person rots away. The people that are good and godly will leave us with pleasant and happy memories, even when they are not around or even when they die. Contrasting that are people who have bad behavior or wicked aspects in their lives. This is especially true when it comes to their relationship with other people. They will not leave us with a good memory, and we will soon forget them because of their bad behavior. Let us make sure that we are living a good legacy each day so that others will know us and will have happy memories of us and our interactions with them. Verse number 8. The wise are glad to be instructed, but babbling fools fall flat on their faces. A sure indicator of a person who is truly wise is that they always desire to learn and improve themselves. They are not hurt or intimidated when others teach them and instruct them. Even when they need to be taught because they are not doing something correctly, they will quietly listen and are glad to be taught on how to improve themselves. Contrasting to this is a fool, which is a person who thinks that they know better than others. They love to expound on their false wisdom. A fool is proud. He thinks that he is wiser than other people. In fact, he thinks he knows better than God. He trusts only in himself. A foolish person is usually one who talks too much, and in doing so makes a fool of themselves. Today we have discovered some great applications for our own lives from these small nuggets of wisdom. If we allow them to permeate our thoughts, we will see improvement in ourselves. We will continue with a few more nuggets of wisdom from chapter 10 tomorrow, so encourage your family and friends to join us, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. That will finish our podcast for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing them with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.